Welcome to the Equipped Disciple channel. My name is Rick McClatchy. I will be your host. We are here to be and to make disciples of Jesus, and we do that through daily devos, through Sunday sermons, and through other discipleship resources. We are here to equip you to be an equipped disciple. Another day of your daily devos. I'm Pastor Rick, and we are jumping in to Genesis chapter 8, and we're talking about the actual flood. Like the actual water has come down, and they are in the ark, and they are waiting to see the faithfulness of God expressed in their reality. And so I think it's really crazy just how much this chapter can speak to our hearts. If you're going through a season where you're not sure what God's got going on, you're not sure what he's got in store, the flood has come, and you're just sitting in the ark. You're thinking, well, at least God, saw fit to give us the ark. So here we are in the ark, but Lord, what are you doing? What's going on? And what do you have planned for us? And how long is this going to take? All these kinds of questions going around in people's minds. Specifically Noah and his wife and his three kids and their wives. And so what's going to happen? What do you have in store for us, Lord? And so here we go. God remembered Noah as well as the wildlife and all the livestock that were with him in the ark. God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the water began to subside. And so obviously God doesn't forget stuff. So when it says that God remembered Noah, it wasn't like, oops, I left him in the ark, my bad. There's too much water going on. And so, but there's times in the Bible where this kind of phrase comes through, and it says, and God remembered them. God remembered Jonah when he is in the whale, in the belly of the whale. And God remembered these people in these situations. And what it is it's the beginning of a restorative act, a beginning of a saving act. And so God remembered Noah, and he was like, oh yeah, let's begin the work. Okay. And so now we're seeing the wind pass over the earth. And that word there is ruach in Hebrew. And it really means, it's the same word that's used in Genesis chapter 1 when it says God, was hovering over the waters. So it's almost like God has taken it back to square one. I mean, that kind of was the plan, right? So in some senses, Noah becomes like this other Adam kind of going on, because it's a new beginning, a retooling of creation, because the earth was once again covered over in water, and now the Spirit of God is hovering over the water. It is passing over the earth, and it's causing the water to begin to subside. The sources of the watery depths and the floodgates of the sky were closed, and the rain from the sky stopped. And so this would be the best understanding of this is the big torrential flood rains happened for 40 days and 40 nights, and then they stopped. But then it seems that there was still weather patterns going on, so other rain happening. And so the floodgates of the sky were closed, and the rain from the sky stopped. The water steadily receded from the earth, and by the end of 150 days, the water had decreased significantly. So, I mean, here we're talking about getting close to like 6 months, right, of time where they've been in the ark, and they've heard the water, hitting the ark. And you just kind of wonder at some point, like, God didn't say, hey, I'm going to do this flood thing, and you're going to be in the ark, and it's going to happen for 150 days. And at the end of 150 days, the water's going to start going down, and you're going to be like, right ready to come on out and re-begin life. No, God didn't write out the whole plan. He just said, get in the boat, and I'll see you on the other side. I mean, you can kind of start to see almost some disciple moments, where Jesus gets in the boat and he's with his disciples and he says, let's go to the other side. I didn't tell you there's going to be a big storm in the middle and you're going to freak out and you're going to wonder if you're going to die. He didn't tell him that. He just said, hey, get in the boat with me. We're going to the other side. And you just have to trust and believe, like, hey, God's going to take me to the other side because he told me that we were going to the other side. So God told Noah, hey, I'm going to take you through the flood. But man, on day 148, and it still seems like stuff is rough. What do? And so that's where we got to watch that Noah just stayed faithful and continued to trust and believe in God, that he was going to see them through to the other side of this flood. And now verse 4, the ark came to rest in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, on the mountains of Ararat. So the ark comes to rest, and the water just continues to recede. So they're up, in a mountainous region. So they're up on the mountains, and the waters continue to recede until the 10th month. So another 3 months have gone by. On the first day of the month, the tops of the mountains were now visible. After 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark that he had made, and he sent out a raven, and it went back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see whether the water on the earth's surface had gone down. Like, is there any ground that we can put our feet on and start a process here? So the dove has been significant of the Holy Spirit, for forever. It's just one of those symbols. And so anytime you see a dove, and you can kind of see that Holy Spirit picture, so he sent out the Holy Spirit to kind of hover over the earth to see what the situation was. And the dove found no resting place for its foot. So it returned to him in the ark. And so here's where you want to take a little bit of the symbolism of the story and take it to heart. And that is that the dove found no resting place for its foot. And if it represents the Holy Spirit, when the floods come in and things are going crazy, is the church a place where the Holy Spirit can lay his feet to rest? Are you personally, a place where the Holy Spirit can come and rest and do the work he wants to do? Or are you just buried over with the flood of life and you're not prepared? You're not ready. You've given into stuff. You've surrendered things. You've failed, whatever it might be. So I just think it's a great question for us to ask ourselves. Are you a resting place for the Holy Spirit to come so that God can do his work in us and through us like he wants to do? So he reached out and brought it into the ark to himself. So the dove returns. So Noah waited 7 more days and sent out the dove from the ark again. And I love that this is kind of representative even of God's efforts towards us, that even if he was to send out and then his spirit, the Holy Spirit comes back, without a place to rest, that God doesn't just quit on us. He actually waits and sends him out again. Like, let's try this again. I appreciate God's grace and his mercy towards us, that he doesn't just give up, but he keeps on pursuing us. When the dove came to him at evening, there was a plucked olive leaf in its beak. So Noah knew that the water on the earth's surface had gone down. So he's beginning to see the signs and the indicators that the water is actually gone, and we are getting closer to this next phase of stepping out of the ark. So after he waited another 7 days, he sent out the dove, and it did not return to him again because life was back again. That there was a place for the dove to rest, and also doves feed on seeds and that kind of thing. So you can see that the plants were beginning to recover from the flood. In the 601st year, in the first month, on the first day of the month, the water that had covered the earth was dried up. Then Noah removed the ark's cover and saw that the surface of the ground was drying. And by the 27th day of the second month, the earth was dry. So there we go. We're getting ready to come out of the ark. That's where we're at in the story. But I think really today, the message is about the ark journey, right? From the beginning of the flood to the receding of the flood. And I think it's really representative of you in your life. When you have challenges, when you have frustrations, when you have surprises, when you have the enemy coming in like a flood, what is your response? What's your faith response? Do you continue to send out the dove and see, like, God, what are you doing? Where's your work? And where's your work going to come to rest? Or are you freaking out? Are you losing your confidence in God? Are you, going crazy and jumping out the boat? But we can see Noah stayed faithful and had patience. I really think that's the biggest thing. He just had patience to waiting out the work of God in the situation, and then stepping into it when the evidence became clear. The next season is upon us, and we're going to step into this new season. So let's have patience. Let's trust God, and let's believe. And let's be that resting place for the Holy Spirit, that even in the midst of the storm, you can be a place where the Holy Spirit can come and rest on you to work in you and then to work through you to people around you that are actually stuck in the midst of the flood as well and need help seeing the hope that lies in front of them. So with that, God bless you. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.